guys, we drive for dollars. Show you guys how we drive for dollars in our business. We actually have a route that we have planned right now, so we know where these houses are. So what we're doing is we're gonna be driving to each house, verifying whether or not the houses are vacant. And then when we see the house, we're gonna determine whether or not we're going to contact the homeowner as a vacant homeowner, for a mill piece as a vacant homeowner, or we're gonna contact them as a absentee, I'm sorry, not absentee, but as a tired landlord, all right? So there's only two types of absentee owners. It's the ones that don't live in the property and the property has no one living in it. And then there's the opposite, the other side, the other type, where you have the owner renting out the property as a landlord. So the key with this, the reason why we do it this way, is for one, we have a list of these absentee homes. So for us, it saves us a lot of time and a lot of money on gas, just going to where these houses are, versus driving around randomly trying to find where they are. All right. And then once we have them, we know exactly how to market to them because we know whether or not they have a landlord and there's tenants in it, or we know whether or not there's nobody in it at all. All right. So it makes our marketing process effective. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys exactly how that's done. I have a route already planned here in the area. So we're gonna drive all the houses and we'll use Deal Machine. I'll show you guys how that works. And if you guys wanna use your Deal Machine as well, please feel free to do that. And we come across a vacant house today, what we're gonna do, we're gonna give them a call. We're gonna do an enhanced search on Deal Machine. We get a number, we'll give it a call and see what we can get. Sounds good? Cool. Awesome. So Coppins actually, you've done this before, right? You've done it this way?
Yes.
Okay. How's your experience with it?
As far as my Deal Machine?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Great. Because like I normally just send them a postcard, and usually like the third try, like once they constantly keep getting it, usually they'll give me a call.
Okay.
I have gotten a call about some of them.
Okay.
And like I said before, they like to get a postcard. So, this is how I normally do it. And sometimes, if I don't hear nothing back from them, sometimes I'll cold call them. I'll cold call about the property. I use the enhanced search. And, sometimes, the numbers work, sometimes they don't. But, if they do work at that time, just give them a call right in and there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, have you gotten on the phone with any sellers that you've called in front of their property?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't. Mainly, most of the sellers who I spoke to doing this tool is from a postcard.
Gotcha.
From a postcard with their picture on it.
So, postcards are clutch, super clutch, and it's really cool what David was talking about earlier today. On how they're adding that extra feature on that postcard where it's got a ballpoint pen to make it even more personal. And there's actually a feature that he talked about as well that I wasn't aware of. It came to me as something new too, and it's the feature of putting your profile picture on the letter, right? So one of the things that we're testing right now in our business is we're doing more so. We're testing postcards as more of a branded perspective versus the personal yellow letters. We're starting to do brands now, so we do like a full print, a postcard, say we buy houses on it, and it looks like a realtor's card, but it's a we buy houses card. And one of the things we're incorporating in that card is we're using pictures, right? So it's something that we're trying that's new, but when people are able to connect with you on your postcard and they can see that it's a person. This is why Deal Machine works, is because when they see their house, there's no question about it. Like you've been at this house, they feel like it's a personal connection. So, we're gonna head to the first house here. Make a right up here, and let's see what address is that. All right, I'm gonna stop here to the right. See that house right there, that gray house? Looks like they got a truck in front of it, and could be. Look like they're renovating it. That's new paint. Yeah. So somebody could have just probably bought that house. So we're looking at 410 here. And if somebody's got Deal Machine, maybe can we pin it and see if that property was recently sold?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Also, honestly, Sometimes what I do is, and this is another tool that y'all can use. If I see movers or even mailmen, like for example, we got movers back here. I get out and I ask them. I say, you know, are y'all moving in or y'all moving out? Do you know the person who bought this property? And sometimes they can be like very they can be like very like they can be very vital, helpful, and very helpful as far as, you know, the owner of the property.
Yeah.
So that's what I normally do. As far as deal machine, yeah, we can go ahead and we can pinpoint it, but honestly, you know, usually I just get out and just ask them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and that's good. And that's good that you do that, guys. That's another thing too. Take advantage of the people that are around in the neighborhood. Talk to them. A lot of times they'll know, especially the neighbors, they'll know about the history on a house that you're looking at. And in this particular situation, the movers are either moving out or they're moving in. And we could really look on the records and it'll tell us if the house was sold. But it looks like they're moving out. It looks like they're moving stuff out of this house.
As of right now, according to this, it says absentee owned. Timothy, Oregon.
Okay.
New York. The sellers
it's
in
an out-of-state
New York.
owner.
So it's an out-of-state owner.
Yeah. Good.
Let me see. Yeah, and if you go to sell information, it sold. Last time it sold was November 16th for 121,000.
Was that last year?
No, 2016.
Oh, okay.
So
that's about almost, yeah. Okay.
So I'm trying to think. Like,
Yes.
did absentee owner, like, is he renting this place out?
Probably that's
He
what.
probably would have. That's what he was doing.
It look like he's probably renting it out, and I guess the tenant he may have is probably.
So he had the house. He bought the house in 2016. Was renting it. So this is interesting. You see how much information you can collect just by looking at data and being able to see in front of the house. We know that they're moving. We know that they bought in 2016. That's awfully a short amount of time. And we also know that owner, their mailing address is in New York. That tells us 9 times out of 10, they're renting this property out. And that's a good point. That's a good observation. Because what you can do now is, why are they moving out? Why they got to move them out? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're having issues with tenants. So we'd send this person a bad tenant letter. You see what I'm saying? So at this point, what we would do on Deal Machine is we'd go on the app, and I'm gonna show you guys my my letter.
Y'all on the app?
Yeah, I'm on.
You on that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys my letter here. Let me just pinpoint. So we're looking at 410 Franklin Road. So what matters too, a good thing when you're looking at records, when you're doing this, if the house was recently sold like a year, like anywhere between a year or two, I typically like, okay, they're not gonna, they just bought it. You see what I'm saying? So they're not gonna sell, especially if the addresses match. So in this particular situation, of course, we take a photo, so we have a photo of it. But what we could do, the letters that I have in here, because you could create your own, you can make yours look however you want it to look. But I'm gonna show you guys my bad tenant letter, or tired of being a landlord letter. So I just set the template. When I pinpoint the house, I set the template to tired of being a landlord, right? And it comes up with my message.
And you design that on Deal Machine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then
You can customize it, add whatever you want to it. Yeah.
and then let me see if it'll zoom in for you guys. If not, I'll pass my phone around. But this is the letter. So tired of being a landlord letter, and I'll pass that around to you guys so you guys can see it. So just a simple message that says, you want to read it? One.
Hi, my name is Luke Madeus. For most people, landlording is not a walk in the park. With the wrong tenants in your house, it can be a nightmare. I buy homes from landlords looking to free themselves from their nightmare. I have cash ready to buy and will buy with tenants still in the home. I buy as is and pay closing costs. Give me a call. Getting an offer on your property is easy. Just give me a call, text, or visit my website. I will come view your house and give you no obligation offer. Have a great day. Sincerely, Luke Madeus.
Yep. And this does not have a picture of their house. And I purposely made it this way because I don't want them feeling like, okay, how does he know, you know what I'm saying, that I'm having tenant issues. That may be a sensitive topic for some landlords. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So just a simple little message, no picture, but I still take the picture because on the campaign, what I'll do is after a certain amount of touches, right, they'll actually get one a picture of their house on it. And it says, hey, I drove by, you know, I'm still interested in buying the house. if you want to know how tenants are taking care of your house, there's actually a picture of it. And so that way that seller, because some sellers, they don't see their house in years, but they have tenants in them, right? So if you haven't seen your house in a long period of time, you don't even know what it looks like, your tenants could be trashing the place, you know what I'm saying? Or they could be taking good care of it. So having that picture and then following up with them with a photo and telling them, hey, I don't know if you've seen your house in a long time, but this is what it looks like, that might catch their interest, you know what I'm saying? So we send this person a bad tenant letter and we keep it moving. I don't typically call them because I don't know the situation, but I'll send them a letter, and then if they pique interest, they'll call.
Yeah.
All right.
And another thing too that I want to touch on is also, one of the things that works for me is when I'm driving for dollars, and also like let's say if you see the next door neighbors or somebody sitting outside, get out and talk to them. The next door neighbors, they know a lot of information about the property you're looking at.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I was in the Fort Pierce area, and I was doing a drop in dollars, and the property was vacant, and the neighbor was sitting out. So he saw my car, and he was staring, and he saw who I was. So I got out, and pretty much I introduced myself to him, and he saw my shirt and everything, and pretty much I asked him. I said, hey, do you know the owner of this property? And do you know if it's vacant? And he said, yes, I know the owner of the property, and it is vacant. But he said, I can tell you right now, don't waste your time. They're not going to sell it. They get a lot of people that's calling them about it. They're not going to sell it. So don't even waste your time. They're not going. Yeah. So, it seems that neighbor, he's pretty for sure. Like, okay, a lot of people probably reached out to this owner about that property, and he told me straight up that don't even waste your time. They're not going to sell it. So in that case, I just didn't waste my time with that one. I just move on to the next one.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good point to bring up. Talk to the neighbors. Discuss with the neighbors what's going on. I'll knock on the door. This was a vacant house. I'll knock on that door, that door, that door, that door, that door, or catch somebody outside who's walking around. Some of these owners have been living here their whole life, and they know exactly what's going on. Some of them actually probably watch the property for the owner. You see what I'm saying? So.
And another one you can use is the mailman.
The mailman clutch.
They are clutch.
The mailman
Trust me,
clutch.
if you want to know where some vacant property's at, go to the mailman. They know where the vacant property's at.
They drive these routes every day.
This
is their job.
Even when I'm driving and I see one, I will actually get out my car and I actually handed some of my cars to them. And I tell them, hey, if you know any vacant homes and I close on it, I even give you a referral fee. And they'd be like, well, actually, yes, it's a couple of houses that's right around the corner that I normally that I deliver to. That property is vacant, and then you have some more properties down there. That property is vacant. Trust me, mailmen are clutch.
Yep.
If you see them, get out your car and speak to them.
Yeah.
They know where the vacant houses are.
Yeah.
So use them as a resource as well.
Awesome. So let's go ahead. Let's go to the next house. We're gonna go to the next house on the list, which is going to be we're looking for 610 Avenue. Yeah, that's crucial, man. That's crucial. Mailmen are fantastic resources. You ever thought about here's something you should look into, because since you're doing that, talk to the mailman, and when you talk to them, maybe see if they're open to being a deal finder for you. So as they drive, they're just adding the deals for you.
That's a good. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I got him as a deal finder.
Yeah, because you know what? With the plan on Deal Machine, you get up to 3 deal finders on that basic plan, so you can take advantage of that. Put some mailmen on there. Yeah.
Wow, that's a very great idea. Yeah, add them.
They driving every day.
They're very helpful.
Yeah.
They are very helpful.
I don't know if you guys ever take Ubers, but Ubers are good too, because they drop people home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so as they're dropping somebody home on their ride, they could, hey, what does it take to take 5 minutes after your ride to just drive around a little bit and see what you can find? You see what I'm saying? 100%. Or they could be talking with the person that they're riding and just tell them what they do. Hey, look, I work with a guy who buys houses, and do you know any houses that are vacant or anybody that's looking to sell? And it's called you know what bird dog is? Yeah, that's a bird dog. So now you're creating bird dogs out here. So we're looking for 6101, just going to be to our left, and it looks like this is it right here. So that's a lockbox on it. The light's on, let me see. So the light is on, got a lockbox. The grass is cut. It looked like it's being taken. Look at the roof. Y'all see the roof? That looks like a new roof on there. They're taking care of this. There's a toy outside for kids. So no, this right here is bad tenant letter all day. No matter how the house looks, I'll still send that letter. You know what I'm saying? Because the house may look good, but there could be a situation with that tenant that they're not paying rent. Like right now, that tenant, whoever lives in there, probably hasn't paid rent for 5 months, and we don't even know that, except for the landlord. And he gets a letter, and it's like, oh wow, this is right on time.
All right, and you say you made that template in your app?
If you guys want, I can screenshot it and send it to all of you guys so you can see the verbiage.
Yeah, I can use that. Yeah, I can use that.
Okay, all right, cool.
So you said for 5 months, really somebody not pay rent for 5 months?
You wouldn't believe some of the stories. Look, we had somebody one time, they haven't gotten paid in a year of no rent. And a lot of times when you see those types of landlords, they really have big hearts, which is why they're in that situation in the first place, because they care about the person living in it. And a lot of times it's usually a family member, and they don't want to kick them out. You know what I'm saying? Or a cousin, or a really close friend, and they don't want to kick them out. So, yeah, it's actually more common. Yeah.
Because it actually was someone on my cold call list, I cold call, who I was negotiating the price with. Actually, it was me and Luke that was working on it. And comes to find out, the lady, she is free and clear. She lives somewhere else, but her brother and her sister-in-law stays in the property, and pretty much they live rent-free. And they live like mortgage-free, like they don't pay anything. She said they somewhat like squatters, like they not supposed to be there. So pretty much, you know, when we was talking numbers, you know, she was a little too high what we can like give her for it. But, you know, pretty much she was like, you know, you have my permission. If you want to go over there and take a look at the property, you can. They know that I'm going to sell it. But the point that I'm trying to get across is that pretty much they was like living like mortgage free, like for years. And pretty much she's not making no money from it. Like they just living free inside the property.
Wow. Yeah. It happens, man. It's crazy, but it happens. So if a landlord gets your letter, and especially in situations like that where it's a very personal situation, they don't know how to tell them to get out.
Exactly.
So like for you as an investor, you can kind of help them go through that process. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, another thing too, guys, even when you're driving a route, still keep your eyes peeled for houses that aren't on your list. Because you can come across this one here to the left. All right, so looks like this is divided. Okay, so this is like a triplex. So there's probably one owner that owns the whole thing. So they own that whole lot, but then they have it partitioned out, so that way they can rent out each section of the building, right? So this owner owns the whole building. So what we do, it's another bad tenant letter. They're renting out different units. All right, we shouldn't sit in front of this house too long, because there might be people living here, and there's a lot of doors. But we can go to the next house because it's the same situation as the last. You see it?
Yeah, it has. He's in apartment B.
So he lives in apartment B.
There.
So you can knock on that door. If one of those units were vacant, hey, you have any vacant? Well, actually, no, you can't, because he owns the whole lot.
He owns the whole lot, so
Yeah.
he probably don't want to sell it the whole thing, especially if he lives there.
So the next one on our list is 514 door. It's gonna be on our left-hand side when we pull up. It's got a little industrial area back here. Some of these lots can probably go commercial, huh? Is there a lot of industrial land over here?
Around this part, yeah.
Around this part. You think you got some in Lantana and Lake Work?
Okay. Let's see. So we're gonna make a left on the next street. Yeah, definitely keep your eyes peeled, guys, on both sides of the street. You might come across a vacant house. Pay attention for high grass, tall grass, bad roofs, tarp on the roof. If it was garbage day, it doesn't look like it's garbage day today. But if it was garbage day, look further, look ground guys. I think this is it, right? 514. So they got someone living in that one. And this look nice too, the fresh paint. You seen this one before?
Because it got some shutters on the side of it.
Yeah.
It look. Some of them they look, but sometimes they not always licky. Like, but we can look, you know.
Yeah.
You know, like when I'm driving around, I always look. I always look at Oh yes, see it. Yeah, it's owner occupied.
This one here?
No, 520.
Oh, 520. Yeah.
This one's the absentee owner.
Yeah. So you can send them a bad tenant letter. And they got a new roof on that one too. That 520 joint. That's a new roof on it, so they probably got some work done in there. All right. Yeah, it is. So we can move on to the next property. And when, you know, this, of course, we send this one a bad tenant letter. So the key here is that you're going to where you know the houses are, and then you can put yourself in front of that seller a lot more effectively because you know what the possibilities of issues that they're dealing with. If the house is vacant, they got a money pit, right? If the house is rented out, they may be having a bad experience. They might have just evicted somebody. Like that person moving out, they could have been evicted. And that landlord might get your card and be like, you couldn't have sent me a card at a better time. I'm tired of being a landlord. That's my third eviction. I can't seem to keep him in here. So the next one is gonna be to our left. It's 411, and this one actually looks like it's vacant. Is that the one right there to the left? Can y'all see through the windows?
Yeah, I think I remember seeing it.
That looks vacant. Does that look vacant to you? There's some chairs in there though.
I think I remember seeing that one.
Well, they kept the grass down though. That's a new roof on it. You see that? That's a new roof on it. Let's see if let's pull up the record on this one and see if it's been 411 and let's see if this particular house was bought recently because that's a new roof. It doesn't look like anybody's living there because nobody's in the driveway. Got these cars out here. What?
It sold in 77.
In 77? All right, so this is worth looking at. The owner lives out here? The owner lives out here?
Yeah, the owner lives in up a military trail.
Do you know how far that? Boynton, that's what, 30 minutes from here?
No, 15, 20.
So what I would do, honestly, this really looks like it's vacant. I'll just walk up and just see. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's living in it. Yeah. I'd walk up and see. I'd verify it because, you know, I'd want to look into it, see it.
You can see there's some work being done.
Yeah.
And like you can see clear as day in there. Like you can see through the back port.
It looks like they're doing some work though. That's the interesting thing about it. And you said it was 77 when they bought it?
It's 77.
So maybe they had it rented out. Give me a second, guys. So it looks like they're doing some renovations in this house right now. This was a vacant house that we found on the way here. And just want to verify that it's vacant, kind of see what's going on with it. And it looks like the house is being renovated. So whoever the current buyer is right now, or the current owner, they're renovating the property. So the likelihood of them wanting to sell, very slim. That's a new electric panel right there that they just put up. Looks like they fixed some windows. Probably got some broken windows here. They fixed that. Looks real rough on the outside. They probably just didn't get to the paint yet. So we're gonna move on to the next house.
So we're here on
It looks like
yeah,
it's
click
vacant.
on
Like,
411.
You can see that it's vacant. So
This pops up down here, the absentee owner,
It's vacant.
Yeah, that's
and we can look at all the information.
All right, so
Send a mailer.
All right, look inside.
they're doing renovations to it.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, yeah. So they're fixing that house up. I mean, they own it since 1997. I'm curious, 77, yeah. I'm curious to know, like, maybe they might be interested in selling because we don't know how long it's been sitting like that. But when you look through the windows, you can clearly see that they're making renovations. They got paint in the inside that they've just done. They're redoing. They redid the kitchen in there. They even fixed broken glass. They put a brand new electric up. I mean, they're doing a lot of work. They put a new roof. You guys can see the roof. So I feel like the chances of them wanting to sell is probably slim because it looks like they're renovating the whole thing. So I'm saying. So we'll move on to the next property.